We're going to talk about something really interesting today from the creator world. What if you could build a whole successful business online, but never, ever show your face? Well, it turns out there's a blueprint for that. Let's get into it.
All right, so let's just start with the big question right up front. Can you really build a brand that actually makes money when no one even knows who you are? Well, this entire system we're looking at is basically the answer to that.
And here's the thing. The answer isn't what you'd expect. It's not about going viral or trying to be some huge personality online. Nope. It's actually about following a really quiet, step-by-step process. So let's break that down.
Okay, so first things first, what does it even mean to be a faceless creator? And maybe more importantly, who is this kind of thing actually for?
So the whole idea here is to completely flip the script. Instead of focusing on you and your personality, everything is about the value you give. Think about something like the beauty world. A lot of people are just looking for calm, helpful advice, not a big, loud personality judging them. And that's exactly where this model shines. And what's so interesting about this list is how it's framed. These aren't seen as weaknesses you need to fix. Instead, they're basically the perfect starting point for this whole approach. If you're overwhelmed by social media or you're not confident on camera, this system isn't just an option. It's pretty much designed for you.
Okay, so that's the why. Now let's get into the how. How does this actually become a business? A real automated model that brings in money while you stay completely behind the curtain.
Look at this path. It's so simple and quiet. The whole journey for a customer is designed to be completely automated. You see some content, you click, you give your email for more info, and then you get helpful advice. There's no hard sell, no aggressive tactics. Each step just gently leads to the next.
And a really key part of this whole thing is the product itself. We're talking about something small, a low-stakes digital product. And that price? That's totally on purpose. It's meant to feel like an easy yes, something helpful and accessible, not a big, scary purchase.
And that's exactly why this whole blueprint is built around digital products. I mean, think about it. With something like a planner or a guide, there's no inventory, no shipping, no returns to deal with. It's instant. It keeps the whole system simple and automated right from the very beginning. Way easier than trying to sell physical stuff. Okay, but here's the million-dollar question, right? How do you actually make the content that fuels this whole machine if you're not showing your face? Well, it boils down to a super simple 3-part formula that you can use over and over again. So, your videos are basically like tiny little slideshows broken into parts. The very first part, just 2 or 3 seconds, has only one goal: hit on a specific pain point. You want the person watching to go, "Oh wow, they get it." Then, boom, you hit them with page 2, and this is where you give them a quick win. Just one helpful tip or a calm reminder. You're not trying to teach them everything at once, just giving them a little piece of value that starts to build that trust. And finally, the last page, super important. This is not a hard sell. It's just a gentle nudge, an invitation. Something like, this is why a good routine makes all the difference. It's not saying, buy my thing. It's just pointing them towards the solution, which just so happens to be the next step in your system. And the best part, look how easy this is to actually make. You can do this all in Canva, which is free. You're basically just making a few pages, setting the timing, adding some nice background visuals and text. You don't need to be a video editing genius. The whole point is to make it simple and repeatable. Okay, so we've got the content. Now we have to connect it to the machine, the automated system that's going to take those views and quietly turn them into customers. And this is where Pinterest comes in. The source material makes a huge point about this. It's not really social media in the same way as other platforms. People go there actively looking for solutions, for ideas, for routines. They're already in a problem-solving mindset, which is the perfect audience for this kind of calm, helpful content. So once you get that email address, an automated email sequence kicks in. And look at the flow here. It's all about continuing that calm, helpful vibe. Day 0 is just welcome. Day 1 is a bit of education. It's only on day 2 that you gently introduce the product. You're building a relationship first. And really, the rest of the machine is just 2 super simple web pages. That's it. You have a landing page that does one thing: collect an email. And you have a sales page, which you can host somewhere easy like Gumroad, that does one thing: explain the product and take the payment. Simple, focused, and automated. All right, so how do you get this thing off the ground?
The biggest takeaway here is that you don't launch in the traditional sense. There's no big, stressful event. It's a gentle, consistent process. Your first week is ridiculously simple. You just upload one piece of content to Pinterest each day. That's it. You repeat the process, you don't change anything. The goal isn't to get a ton of sales right away. The goal is just to be consistent and let the system start to do its thing. And this quote, this really sums up the whole mindset, doesn't it? It's not about being perfect. It's about calmly showing up, guiding people, and trusting the system you've built. The whole thing scales not because you start shouting louder, but because you just keep adding those small, quiet pieces, and the results start to compound over time. So it really makes you wonder, doesn't it? We're so used to this personality-driven creator economy where everyone has to be a brand. But this blueprint offers a totally different path. It makes you ask, is the future of being a creator maybe a little more anonymous? Is it about the value you create, not how visible you are? It's a really interesting idea to think about.